Hi guys, welcome to the Des Moines Valley Railroad March update. This month I was going, as promised, to show you a list of roster of my locomotives. So we will get to that in a moment. I just wanted to give you an update on the layout. All the stuff underneath the layout is completely done. There were a few odds and ends that I needed to do. I had a couple more frog juicers I had to put in, and I put in also some new Tortoise switch machines on a couple of switches, and got those put in a little more of the harder to reach switches. I had the ground throws on there originally, and kept reaching over and sometimes bumping scenery and things like that, so I decided to switch those over to the Circuitron Tortoise ground switch machines. So that's worked out really well. Added a few more stationary decoder channels to the DCC system, so it's working. Everything's working really well. So now, like I said, as promised, we will show you the roster of the locomotives. So stay tuned. Okay, so here's one area on the layout where I switched out the manual ground throws for the Tortoise switch machines. The problem I was having is that I would be reaching in to flip the switch, and when I'd reach in to throw the switch, I would activate the crossing signals on this particular one. The other problem was I'd be hitting the scenery. I was worried about breaking my electrical substation over here. Same thing with the one over on this side. Kind of reaching over, and we got a smokestack here for the power plant and trees and all that, and it was just in enough that I felt like I needed to switch it over to automatic operation via the throttle. I have the NCE system. Here's the Pro Cab. What I would do then is just then select accessory, and I can hear it's going off, but I select accessory, enter it in, which is 42. This one's already set, and then, so if I was to do it manually, I go select accessory, and then 42, enter, and then like 2 to go to the siding. And then once you do that, you can just hit select accessory twice, and it'll just toggle back and forth that same number. The other part of this is I have a LED, bicolor LED for those, so I can tell which way they are. Like right now it's reversed, and when I switch it back it goes to green, showing it's back to normal position. So I added a total of 4 more on this. I have 4 more yet to add on the other side of the layout. The ones on the other side of the layout are a lot closer, so I'm not in any hurry to do that. The only ground throws that I'll have at this point, the manual ground throws, will be in the yard area of Pella, and also 1 or 2 spurs. I have the Otley spur on the other side, and the Pellacorp spur, and the Monroe industrial lead. That one's a little bit of a reach too, but at least there's no scenery right in the way to hit. So So anyway, that's kind of what I've been working on for this month on that part. And another thing I've been doing on some of the switches where I have already weathered track. Most of my track I've got the micro engineering weathered track, but the switches weren't weathered. So what I've been doing to them is taking a micro brush with some Riff Brown paint and painting the rails everywhere except for the contact points here. The other thing, my main line also isn't weathered. What I've been doing for it to make it a little quicker is using those paint pens that you can get. The ones I have are Flocal, but I think Woodland Scenics makes them as well, and those work pretty good as well to get a little quicker job of running along the rails, just to keep the shine off the sides a little bit. But that's been a real help too in making the track blend together a little bit more and not quite stand out for the sides being as shiny. I still need to do another pass on some of the main line. The paint pens are good, but you have to kind of go over them a couple of times. Where when you use a micro brush with the Riff Brown paint, it's pretty much the first time around you got it, but it's a little more tedious in painting. So that's why I just kind of stuck to the switches that I needed to paint for using the paint, and then for the main line using the paint pens. I hope you enjoyed the update this month, and we will see you next month right here on this channel. So take care.